Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is BingPot. You can call me Bing for short. That's what I've gone by on the internet for the last several years. You can call me AC, that's my real name. Whatever you wish to call me, thank you so much for checking out my channel. I've wanted to get into content creation for a long time now. I actually studied film production when I was in college, but after I graduated, I made a career pivot that also didn't really work out for me. So I've always wanted to get back into this field. I don't have a ton of experience in front of a camera though, so you'll have to excuse me if I fumble my words a bit. But I want to combine content creation with my other favorite hobby, which is gaming. I love all types of games, video games, tabletop games, all of that. So if that's what you're into and you like the content, then I hope you stick around. I have a Battle Spirits Saga video here for you today. Battle Spirits Saga is a trading card game that I got into about 6 months ago at Gen Con 2023. Ever since then, I've had a ton of fun playing it. It's really exciting whenever there's new cards that come out. Deck building is really fun to me as well. So that's what this video is going to be about today. It's a deck that I was working on over the course of set 3, and then in February, the store that I go to, we hosted a set 4 proxy tournament. This was at Bulldog Community Gaming. The deck that I made, actually, if you're familiar with the Nexus podcast, they showcase it on their channel, and they gave it some love and they shouted it out, which was really cool. So yeah, I want to talk about that today. And keep in mind when you see this, it's probably very obvious that this wasn't tested into set 4. I didn't do a lot of testing into set 4. I kind of went in blind, and I kind of put a bunch of stuff in that I thought would work, and it didn't. So I think I went 2-2 in the Swiss rounds. I think we played 4 rounds of Swiss, and I went 2-2. So it worked fine. It just didn't work into the matchups that I needed it to. But let's take a look at the deck. Okay, here it is, the bugs that die. I don't want to spend a ton of time on every single card, but the idea of this deck is to spawn Antman Tokens and then kill them off to either to restand the unit that is attacking, either with Deadly Balance or Doubly Deadly, or in the next attack, we kill it off with Costume Artist or Dread Knight Nemesis, and then restand another unit that was attacking. We do that with Great Alvar Plains, where during our attack step, when one of your spirits with no effects listed is destroyed, you can select one of your spirits and refresh it. This is not color locked, so we can refresh any unit on the board. And kind of like how what the Nexus podcast boys mentioned was that if you have both of these out, you can kind of infinitely loop, which is a really cool thing to do. Since we're killing our own units, we have Rotting Swamp, so we can keep drawing cards. Both of these are really important pieces, and you can see most of the deck is either green or purple, and that kind of plays into the Seabed Lighthouse meta quite a bit. As far as green spirits, the big one is Archduke King Taurus. When summoned, we ramp 3 cores if we have 2 other bodies on the board. Well, 3 once we play Archduke, and then he allows us to continuously generate Antman tokens. Ghost Mantis is like a spirit that is a nexus that ramps cores. We wouldn't really attack with this. We just want to keep him on board so we can ramp as our tokens are dying. Gale Ninja Ant Shadow, super great card. Spawns an ant token, ramps with the soul core on him, and then has Swift on it, which is really good, especially kind of into the Hydra matchup. Since Seabed Lighthouse doesn't allow us to play magics if we don't have the color representation on board, it doesn't prevent us from playing spirits with Swift. So we can play this from the cores in our reserve. It puts the green color on the board, and then we can play other green cards like Thorn Prison or Plant Trap to exhaust if we need to survive, and then we can block them as well. Yojimbo Ant-Man, just a big vanilla spirit, or a cheap vanilla spirit that gets up to 7k BP, and again, if we kill it, Great Alvar Plains will refresh, so it's nice to have this as a target to refresh another spirit if we don't have a token down. Heaven's Cloak Butterfly ramps. Since we're playing 4 drops, we have Beldegor, which we can get out of the trash to put purple back on the board if we don't have Rotting Swamp. We have Worker Antman for a turn 1 play. And then we have Antman General to put a token on the board. Again, we're using Costume Artists to destroy spirits and draw cards. It has Curse as well, so this does kind of act as its own threat on the board. Just being able to take something out. Like, we don't necessarily care if this dies because we have Rotting Swamp, we're drawing a card anyway, and we're hopefully taking something out with it. And then we have Dread Knight Nemesis, which again allows us to keep killing tokens, and then yeah, being able to remove cores is an interesting part of this card. Being able to draw cards is great, and then if we kill this spirit off, it forces our opponent to destroy a spirit as well. So it's good. It kind of works as its own doubly deadly with deadly balance. So yeah, really good card. As far as magics go, we've touched on Deadly Balance. We don't need to talk about Ice Shield, but we have Dream Blizzard in here. The reason why we have Dream Blizzard is because Rotting Swamp can potentially deck us out. So Dream Blizzard allows us to take Rotting Swamp off of the field if we've already drawn the cards that we need and prevent us from decking out. Oh, I forgot to mention Ira. We're playing the cards in this deck to either put it on the board and swing it for 2 damage by ascending off of a 4 cost, or we have plenty of 6 drops to ascend off of, or 6 or more costs to ascend off of and wipe the board, and again swing in, and then again it's more card draw. So a decent tech card to have, but probably better in the sideboard, which is the same with Dream Blizzard. I think both of those cards can slow us down a bit if we're drawing them from behind, so probably have them in the sideboard. We have Thorn Prison because we're playing green. Burning Force because we wanted to deal with Nexuses, but I kind of think that this also slowed us down a bit, and again, we don't have any other red cards other than Ira, so being able to flash this out wasn't super useful either. I think if anything, we would rather just have more Deadly Balance and doubly deadly. Dream Bomb to take life and bounce things because this is already on the field. And then Plant Trap, great card to play with when summoned, or against decks with a lot of when summoned. At the event, there was a Smag deck, so I didn't get to play them, but this would have worked really well into that matchup. But we can also refresh a 5 cost or more if it's green, or we can exhaust Hydra, for example. This worked really well into a white matchup that I had where my opponent was swinging with their Elks, and they only had like 1 core on them, I think. So I just had Gale Ninja Ant Shadow down, blocked for 6, played Plant Trap, refreshed it, was able to kill 2 Elks. It worked out pretty well. In the sideboard, we have Koju, Kiro, which has really good reductions for a 5-drop. It acts as another Beldegor target. And yeah, we can spend the Soul Core to exhaust a spirit. Being able to select an opponent's spirit to exhaust is really, really powerful. Definitely love that about this card. And then if we are playing purple, if we have a Soul Core on it, it stops our opponent, at least during their turn, from removing cores off of our Carapace spirits. So really good effect to have. Ant Queen spawns 2 more tokens. And then during the attack step, as we're destroying our things, we can exhaust other spirits, our opponent's spirits at least. Really good into the control matchup, just a bit too slow to main deck. Seabed Lighthouse, I put this in here against red and even yellow for that matter, but I don't think it ever came out. 1 more Dream Bomb, and then Floodstream to deal with the aggro. And now there's a lot going on in this deck, so after actually having tested it into set 4, it obviously needed to be condensed quite a bit and have more of a singular focus instead of trying to do a lot of things. So what does that look like? That's Hydra. It looks like this. I don't think this is the final version of the deck. But again, this deck has more of a singular focus than what the Bugs That Die does, so that's why it's called just tokens. So what are some of the changes here? So we took out Beldegor because we just don't consistently have 4 and 5 drops on the field. Maybe it's a good sideboard card. So when we side in Kauju Kamakiro, we would bring in Beldegor as well. It's probably a good addition to make. I haven't touched the sideboard here. But we have more Antman Generals in here because we want more tokens. Because I think the ramp that you get off Gale Ninja Ant Shadow is just so good. If you have enough tokens on the field, 1 or 2 swings with Gale Ninja Ant Shadow is really all the ramp that you need to accelerate your game into the board state that you really need. Ghost Mantis, we still kept this around. I think that this is also kind of a slow card for this deck. I don't even think that this card makes it into the sideboard, but it is a decently large body as well, so being able to put it down and then just keep a core on it isn't the worst thing ever. So I like having it around. Maybe just we might take this out to put something cheaper in. We'll see. We put another copy of Nemesis in because I think that this card is really great, especially its when destroyed effect. This can kind of help even out the board state a bit. Really like this card. We went up to 4 Deadly Balance, 3 Doubly Deadly, 4 Thorn Prisons. We did take out the Plant Traps, and then we added in the Ant Strikes Back, just to be able to play more tokens so we can ramp and then we can kill them off with things. Yeah, and then the last thing that we added was Infinite Ant Undercity. Since we are spawning so many tokens, we want to be able to pull those out from the trash instead of relying what's in our reserve. It just makes the playstyle a bit more fluid. But again, this is also kind of a slow card. We do have this during either attack step. All your spirits with no effects listed gain 1000 BP for each core on them. That is pretty good, especially with Yojimbo Ant-Man. Being able to bump this up to like a 10k is really cool. But again, this is mainly just to make our plays more core efficient. But we still are running 2 Great Aura Plains and then 4 Rotting Swamps. I think as far as the sideboard goes, what changes I would make, I do think these 2 stay. I think Siba goes out. You can maybe keep the Dream Bomb, but I think instead of Floodstream, I would probably just play Curse Enchantment. That's that 2-drop or 2-cost magic card, purple, that gives something when you swing. When you swing, it gives it Curse. I think this deck has to be more aggressive, and being able to swing and take out something with Curse, I think is really good. I really struggled trying to put this card or trying to put Curse Enchantment in the main deck because, again, this is already a 52 card deck. So I think depending on your matchup, that card would go really well into it. But yeah, that's the deck. I have a ton of fun playing this deck. When in high rolls, it does very well, and it's very fun to play. Being able to swing with Archduke King Taurus multiple times in a turn, being able to draw, just continue to draw your answers, and just effectively keep swinging until your opponent has no HP. It's possible to do that. You can infinite loop with this deck. That is really fun. Again, super high rolling deck, but possible. And then I think just tokens are fun. I think tokens are a very underrepresented archetype in this game, and I think they deserve a lot more love and a lot more respect. But that's the deck. I don't have any footage of me playing it. Hopefully I will at some point, but if you enjoy this deck, feel free to try it out, make some changes to it, and let me know down in the comments how you think this deck could be changed and maybe what direction it should be going in. But I have a ton of fun playing this deck. I kind of think, especially as Siba Lighthouse gets more popular, dual color decks like this that are, yes, they are inherently slower, but they give a little bit more flexibility to your deck, so you're not so limited in what you can do, right? Because if green only played green magics, all they would do is exhaust and they wouldn't kill. anything, they want to kill any of your opponent's spirits, but being able to have purple represented on board and being able to play Deadly Balance or Doubly Deadly to take them out, well, that changes quite a lot. So, yep, I like it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, and yeah, if you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and yeah, be safe, be happy, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.